Yeah, right. Yeah, the energy is really electric, as I was saying before. So you talk about the panel discussion, and the panel is about the next generation of cyber defenders.
Yep.
So we're talking about the youth being the next generation of
Yes.
cyber defenders. And of course, around the world, many different countries realize there's a severe skills shortage when it comes to cybersecurity. And many are moving upstream to, engage the youth and also children at a younger age to understand more about cybersecurity.
Yep.
So what kind of cyber threats do you think that the youth face today that we may not face? Of course, there's phishing, which is common to everybody.
Yep.
But I was thinking maybe, cyberbullying is something that's more unique to youth than to, say, people of our generation.
Interestingly, when every one of us think of cybersecurity, in the past, when you talk about cybersecurity, the first thing anyone would mention is, do you have an antivirus software at home? Do you have a firewall at home? Well, if you have an antivirus software, if you have a firewall, well, you're safe. But these days, as you mentioned, cybersecurity has evolved. It's not really so much, well, of course, the threats are still there, phishing, ransomware. These are real threats, and they are still there. But in the world of cybersecurity, it has kind of evolved to something that's a bit more sinister, I would say. So what do I mean? As you've mentioned, things like cyberbullying. Now, to us, it might just be it's just a small little thing that we just fit in to talk about in school. But this, we have read in the reports of how teenagers have actually committed suicide.
That's right.
Just because they were targeted online. Someone made a post about them, and it affected them so much that they took their own lives. Yeah. So it's no longer just about antivirus, about firewall. It's no longer about my computer got hacked. I got a ransomware. It has transcended that boundary to something that's a bit more human, that kind of affects lives directly. And one of the things, for example, I was just sharing in the panel these days. Now, if I were to hack a company, there are two ways we can go about doing it. The first way, we can sit behind a computer, wear a hoodie, eat a pizza, and bang away at our keyboards trying to get into the firewall of the company, which these days is going to be pretty difficult because everyone wants to protect their systems, right? So the other way to do it is to do it a bit more in a soft approach. So perhaps, I might befriend a person that works at a certain company. So let's say if you're working there, I might befriend you, get to know you, and from there, perhaps one day I might ask, could you, this is a thumb drive.
Right.
It doesn't work at home, could you try it on your laptop? And when you actually insert the thumb drive, that thumb drive actually plants a malware on your computer that can spread to the entire company as well.
Okay.
So it's moved from a technical, hard angle to a human, softer angle. And, with the emergence of AI,
right.
that everyone's just talking about ChatGPT,
Yeah, of course,
and so it's going to be that kind. So cybersecurity is not so much, it is still, but it has evolved to something that's a bit more human, it's a bit more personal. And of course, if you're talking about the technological angle, everything is connected these days in Singapore. So, to the youths out there, I guess in any industry, in a society, even like Singapore, any society that's rapidly changing, one thing to remember is it's never the end, no matter where you are at your education pathway. So personally, I failed my A-levels many years back, and that's a true story. So at that time, I was also pretty lost. So it's never the end of the road. If the thing is that if you give up on yourself, then that's really the end, because you would then just think, I'm just resigned to my fate. I'm not going to do anything to change that. But if you never give up and you always have that that mindset that there is always hope at the end of the tunnel. Yes, it's not going to be easy. It might sound cliche, but that will kind of just open up the pathways that you can explore. Truly, as I shared, Cyber Youth Singapore is purely a voluntary organization. We all do this on a volunteer basis, not pay a single cent. Why do we do this? Apart from encouraging more to join the industry, these youths truly inspire me. I have gone through moments like this many times where I think that these guys are amazing, and that kind of just makes us carry on to do this for the youth and for the industry on the other hand. And I think more and more industries are picking up this. So it's really not hiring managers. It's really not just about the technical certifications that the
That's
youth
right.
has. I do know that there is a baseline in hiring. We're looking for a certain standards. I'm totally cognizant of that. But the idea here is that even if I don't have the requisite baseline, now if I have an alternative pathway, but I can show that whatever I've done in this alternative pathway is good, as good, if not even better than what you are traditionally looking for. Give them a chance. I'm not asking you to actually take them into your company. You could just hire them as an intern. At least give them a chance to get through to the interview where you have a chance to speak to them and find out a bit more. Because if you don't do that, to be very honest, you are losing out on a talent that could eventually make it big in your company. So I think on the industry.